what's up guys, Benny here, and the Call of Duty Warzone meta has had a huge change up with the mid-season update, with a bunch of weapons getting nerfs and a ton of buffs also going out for a bunch of the assault rifles. So that mid to long range meta now has a ton of options for you, and I'm going to go over the 7 best weapons for the assault rifle category for those mid to long range engagements in this video. But first, let's check out the sponsor of today's video, Lenovo Legion. So we have to kick off with the gun that has dominated Warzone over the last few weeks, the Bren, and it did receive a nerf in the mid-season update. However, the major changes to the weapon was the Queen's Barrel had the damage drop-off range, which used to be unlimited, removed. So it now, at those extreme ranges, won't kill at the same speed as someone right in your face. And to be honest, it's not that big of a deal. There was a little bit more recoil added as well, but other than that, they have not changed a single thing. The Bren is still very much meta in Call of Duty Warzone after the mid-season update, and this is the build that you want to be using with it. You've got the MX Silencer, the Queen 705mm Royal Barrel, the SVT 3 to 6 times scope. You can of course use the G16 2.5 times if you wish to, the Hawkinson SP2B, the Tight Grip, fully loaded, the polymer grip, the Secura 40 round 6.5 mag, lengthened, and then the M1930 strife angled grip off the underbarrel. Now that is the best setup for the Bren. Still very much meta. Remember, I'm also going to go through my total rankings later on in the video, but the Bren, absolutely unreal. And with the mid-season update, we also got the well gun. Now, this is very much in a similar category to the MP40, which got the world's smallest nerf to its hip fire, which really doesn't make a difference. But the well gun, really fast time to kill, hits quite hard, really easy to use with this particular build. Recoil booster, you want the Gawain short barrel, you want the slate reflector. The Gawain skeletal stock is the one that I personally have been using. You've also got remove stock if you want better movement speed, but for me, the skeletal is what's worked best. Unmarked so you stay off radar, so you can use that recoil booster to get a higher fire rate. Quick so you move around faster. I then use tape grip so that I can run combat scout rather than amped, which is pretty handy with the Vanguard weapons. I then run the 9mm 64 round mag with hollow point. Now I would use incendiary rounds if I had it unlocked. I don't just yet, but hollow point is the second best option in my opinion. And then I round it up with the Carver foregrip. Now I'm not going to go too much at SMGs in this particular video, but that's what I've been using along with the MP40, which I'll show you a little bit later. But second, we have the STG. Now I think the third gun is my favorite, I'm going to be honest with you. But the STG has had a whole bunch of changes to its visual recoil, so it feels really good, including the ground loot STG. Like, I picked it up multiple times throughout my play session today, and the ground loot STG feels even better because of these changes. Now, muzzle, MX Silencer, the barrel was actually one of the things that got the biggest change. It had the visual recoil removed from it, but highly accurate and controllable, reduced scope sway and gun bob, damage range, exactly what you want with the STG for mid to long range. And this thing shreds, by the way, absolutely shreds. G16 optic, as I said, you can use the 3 to 6 times if you want. I was just using the G16. VDD 34S weighted stock. I was using sleight of hand because Vital does damage your recoil and accuracy with the weapon. It adds a bit more kick. Harder to use at those longer ranges, but it also doesn't really change your bullets to kill. So sleight of hand was what I was working with, especially in quads. Getting those reloads off quickly is pretty helpful. Polymer grip, which is flinch resistance, accuracy and recoil during sustained fire, and then I run the 60 round mag. Now I have switched between the two. We're using the 7.62 Gorenko 50 round and the 60 round, and I've just found really that this gives you the higher damage output compared to the 50 round. And at those longer distances, you don't really need that increased fire rate. It's helpful, both work. I think it's going to come down to a little bit of personal preference, but right now I'm using the 60 round drum. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Lengthen for that increased bullet velocity. And that's one of the benefits with this as well. It doesn't hurt your bullet velocity compared to the 50 round. So mid to long range, if you want to use this as an actual assault rifle, this update allows you to do that. And I've also got the hand stop, which got changed as well. So that is 100% the build that you want to use. Same well gun that I was using before. Now, our third is my favorite. I said this, but the Automaton, the Automaton, whatever you want to call it, is back. It is been buffed. Right, it got nerfed into oblivion at the start of Caldera. It was what everyone was running, and then it got destroyed, and now it is back. I had so much fun with this, just because you all know, right? 75 round mag, high fire rate assault rifle. You can wipe squads, and the update brought a whole ton of changes that improved the recoil control of this weapon. You want the MX silencer, right? You then want the Anastasia sniper scope. You don't want to use the Empress because you don't want to reduce your body damage, because most of your shots are going to be hitting that chest. Then I've been using the SVT 3 to 6 round scope with this. The Zac skeletal stock, which is pretty helpful because it's the initial shots when firing. So when you get those first shots off, you know they're going to be hitting your target, and it's a lot easier, I find, to track once you get those shots on. Initial firing recoil, and you know, you got that extra strafe speed when you're ADSing as well. Then you've got tight grip, which is accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. So as you transition from that initial firing recoil, that perk helps keep it as laser pointed as possible and really helps you land your shots. Fully loaded, so you get all the ammo possible. Polymer grip is very important because this is actually one of the things that got changed with this update. It had its like idle sway changed and the recoil reduction, so that's just going to help you with like less visual bounce, which is going to allow you to land your shots. Then I use the 75 round mag. Yes, you move a little bit slower. The reload's slower, and the ADS is a little bit slower, but not by much. And because of the high fire rate, I always prefer it over the 45 round, especially in playing like trios and quads. 75 round, I think, is pretty crucial. And then, you know, you can switch to your SMG anyway when you need to move around quickly. Lengthen, so it's easier to land your shots at a distance. And then the M1941 hand stop. Absolute laser once again, and probably, in my opinion, is back to being the best Vanguard assault rifle, and it's also so much fun to use. I know a ton of you are going to be happy. It was becoming a community favorite, and then they nerfed it, and it stopped getting used, but it's back. And then I've got that with the well gun as well. Now, the next set, as you all know, Vanguard Royale has been removed this week. It's kind of now Vanguard Plunder. So you're going to see a variation of Modern Warfare and Cold War assault rifles being used again. And one of the best ones is the C58. You're going to have the agency suppressor on there, 18.5-inch task force, axial arms 3 times, field agent grip, and the 45-round drum. And like, I think this is something that I've been talking to a load of people about, and I still think that the Black Ops Cold War weapons, especially the assault rifles, still beat the Vanguard one. So I think in the whole overall meta, if you're not playing Vanguard Royale and you need to be performing at your highest level, I think we're going to start seeing these next 3 assault rifles used. The C58 is currently one of the assault rifles with the highest average KD for its use. A lot easier to use compared to our next assault rifle, the EM2. So if you want like an easy to use assault rifle that's going to perform very, very well in Caldera, go for the C58. And I paired that with the MP40, which, as I said, did get a nerf in this update, but it's not a big deal at all. Recoil booster, Krosnick 317mm 04B barrel, the slate reflector optic, the Krosnick 33mm folding stock, unmarked, quick, taped grip, so you don't have to run amped, the 7.62 45 round mag, incendiary rounds, and then the Carver foregrip. Pretty much the same setup as the well gun, but for the MP40. We all know it now. It's the best SMG in the game, and I still think that is the case after the nerfs that Raven did. So the next assault rifle is the EM2. Now, I think there was a big tear between the C58 and the EM2 towards the end of Verdansk, and they're back with this update. And I think as we're no longer having just Vanguard Royale, which is pure Vanguard weapons only, I think we'll start seeing these slot back in, especially after the nerfs to the Bren. So if you want an easy to use weapon and you've got it unlocked, go ahead, use the EM2, agency suppressor, 25.8 task force barrel, field agent grip, 40 round mag, and then the axial arms 3 times. And it's so weird only having 5 attachments. It's crazy how used to having 10, like how quickly you get adapted to those sort of things. But 5 attachments on that, and then MP40 once again. Then my next assault rifle from the Black Ops Cold War ones, which are viable, is the XM4. This is just like a really fun, all-round, easy to use, higher fire rate assault rifle. I think it's easier to use compared to the C58 and the EM2. Not as fast a time to kill, but definitely easier to use. And a good sniper support because it's quite good at close range. It's because of the higher fire rate as well. So on that, you want agency, 13.5-inch task force, actual arms 3 times, field agent grip, and the 45-round mag. And then that was with the MP40 as well. And then finally, my 7th best assault rifle, which is a Modern Warfare one in the game right now, is the AMAX. Like, this is one of my all-time favorite weapons. It's still got a very high average KD for its use. And even though everyone's sort of focused on Vanguard weapons now, don't forget about the Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War guns. They're still very, very good. Monolithic Suppressor, XRK Zodiac, VLK 3 times optic, Commando foregrip, and the 45-round mag. Now, I've also got the OTS with that. Still one of the best SMGs in the game, even after all the changes. Though you don't have as much variation. You don't have the ability to have unmarked and recoil booster. So it is a tear. Still performs very, very well. And like you'll see it used a ton in Rebirth. But Group Suppressor, 8.1-inch task force, skeletal stock, 40-round fast mag, serpent wrap. And the total rankings for these in the sense of what assault rifles are best, I'd say the C58, the Geomatic, and the White Rabbit are probably better than the Vanguard weapons in total performance just because of how they play. Then I'd go Automaton, Bren, Helmet, the STG, and then finally the AMAX. And those are the top 10. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Remember to check out Lenovo Legion down in the description below. And I will see you next time for more. Thanks for watching.